Good evening, saints of God. I hope on this very cold winter's day that you're very warm and very secure in Jesus' name. Today, we're going to, um, I'm going to talk to you about this year coming up, 2017. God said some things to me concerning 2017 that I need to share with you. And then throughout the year, we will look at different things that will help us transition in 2017 towards more of the mandates and the ministries that God has given us to work in the earth realm. One of the things God has spoken to me is that 2017 will have just as many and maybe even more challenges than 2016. He said, however, in order for us to be successful in 2017, we're going to have to rely on and even have respect for, did you catch that? Respect for the gifts that he's put in us. We can no longer focus on what's happening outside of us. We have to look at our inner selves. Is that good? He reminded me and took me through a quick review of 2016, and he reminded me when we first started doing these tapings and doing this teaching, we started out talking about how we think, our perspectives. For those of you who have been following the teachings from the beginning, you can attest to the fact that God started talking to us about how our minds work, why we think the way we think, how we come up with our perspectives, and how we commit to the things we believe. It is not so much inherently wrong, but if what we have committed to believe does not measure up with what God has given us, then our belief system will hinder us. And we realize throughout the year with the things God has taught us that what has hindered us has not been lack of resources, has not been not making the right connections, has not even been not having the right vision. It has been the fact that we think contrary or differently than what kingdom thinks. God made me to understand that what's going to happen in 2017 is we're going to have to start respecting the gifts that he's given us and the wisdom that he's placed in us. That is the only way the earth will understand the power that God has given his people. That's the only thing that's going to start moving the local church. When the members of the local church begin to respect the gifts and talents that God has given them to move ministries, when they begin to respect the gifts and talents that God has given them to function in the earth realm, to show the world, this is what God does for his people. It has not happened in 2016 the way God wanted to. Oh yeah, we may have accomplished a few things here and there, but the greatness that God has placed in us has yet to manifest itself. And the reason being is because we haven't fully respected what God has placed in us. And so in order for God to bring that greatness out, he has to allow us to go through the challenges. Remember, one of the lessons that we did in 2016, we talked about potential and how potential needed opportunity and challenges. And we realized that opportunities, I believe, expose our potential, while challenges unlock it. Our potential needs to be unlocked. As a matter of fact, we won't even recognize an opportunity until we realize how to handle a challenge. So 2017 will be a year of greatness for us if we have respect for what God has placed in us. We can no longer pray this prayer, or we can't go through 2017 praying this prayer when challenges come. God help us. God get us out. God remove this. We can't do that. We can't even afford to pray that I'm going to sit here and wait till my change come type prayers. We can't pray like that. At this time for 2017, when we are challenged, we have to let the challengers in us rise up. I love that because that's what conquerors are. there are also challengers. There are people that when challenges come, they relish them. They seize the moment of a challenge. They know challenges are what is building them up, that is fortifying them, giving them the stamina they need to keep it moving for kingdom. And so 2017 will be a year of greatness for us, but only if we become challengers. We are more than conquerors. We are the victors. We know all of this, but we have only tapped into so little of it. 2017 can see more. We can enjoy the prosperity that God has promised us. But we're going to have to embrace the challenges and let the challenger in us come out. Next week, we're going to talk about the mindset of challengers. And we're going to understand how to embrace a challenge. That's for next week. God bless you. I hope you tune in. You deserve everything God has promised you. God bless you, and I'll see you next week.